so I'm going to try to, for every unit, or every topic, I should say, little tutorial videos. That way you have them, you can play them at your leisure, you can record them. Well, I already recorded, but it doesn't make any sense. You can pause them, you can take notes, so on and so forth. So just want to do a few different examples of Pythagorean theorem problems. These ones probably will not work out so nicely, so that's okay. That'd be good practice. So let's just go ahead and get started. So first of all, remember that the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? These are both the legs. Okay? If we think about a right angle, those are the two parts that are connected to the right angle. Okay? The c is the hypotenuse. Remember, as we're looking at this, and do it in red here, remember we had the two legs, that's the hypotenuse. And so the legs are always connected to the right angle, the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. Okay? So that's key thing number one. So as we look at some of these problems, just draw the right triangle up here. Okay? So let's say here's the right angle, right? Say this is 10, this is 12, and we're looking for this. So the first thing you should always do is label. So as I look at this, I always look for the right angle first. The right angle is right there. First thing I label is the hypotenuse. That's across from the right angle. Okay? So the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. Now that is always our C, remember, in our formula. So if we go back to the formula here, I always start by writing that so that I know where things go. So instead of C, that's going to be like X. That's the thing in this. These other two don't really matter. So I'll call this A and this B. So then up here I can come in and plug in 10 for A and plug in 12 for B. Okay? So first step, label. Second step, plug in. First step, I guess, is solve. So 10 squared is 100. 12 squared is 144. Now equals x squared. Okay? So now we have an equation here. So I add these two, I get 244 equals x squared. Now remember, in any solving equation, we're trying to undo operations. Okay? So the opposite of squaring something is square rooting it. So as soon as I square root this side, square root and the square cancels out. So I just have x left. When I square root this side, because I always have to do the same thing to both sides, I don't know what the square root of 244 is. I know quite a few square roots, but that one is not a perfect square root. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type it into my calculator, figure out what the square root of it is, and I get 15.6. So that's my answer. So I showed my labels, I showed my work. That's good. Now, if I go to another problem here, remember, you can always pause this, rewind it, do whatever you got to do. So if I draw another right triangle here, and this one maybe I'll just flip over here a little different. Okay, so let's say this time I know this is 9, I know this is 7, and I'm looking for this. Here's the right angle. So again, I'm going to start, I'm going to say, there's the right angle, so across from that has to be my hypotenuse, which I call C. So as I go to plug that in, that's going to be my C. The other two things have to be legs. I'll just label one A, and I'll label one B. So it would be 7 squared plus x squared. So my B is just my variable, it's my unknown. So I do my math now. So 49 plus x squared equals 81. Now, you can't just add these together. I have to get the x by itself. That's always my goal. So what I need to do, since that's a positive 49, is subtract 49 from those cases, from both sides, sorry. And I get x squared equals 81 minus 49 should be 32, I think. Hopefully I'm not steering y'all wrong. Again, I have my x squared here, so I want to square root both sides. 32 is not a nice square root. So these cancel out, and I get x equals 5.5. 0.7, so I'm rounding to 1 decimal places. Okay, so those are the basic tenets of a Pythagorean theorem problem. Good way to set it up, good way to solve it, so I can see your work, give you full credit, all that fun stuff.